Okay, I think I'm live. Sorry about that. Let me just give you guys a second to find me. I forgot one step and I forgot to change it to horizontal. So we will give it another shot. Let's see, I'm almost there. Just waiting for my laptop to update. Okay, it's still not updating, so I just want to make sure you guys can see me. Okay, I think I'm on. Okay, give me a thumbs up or put something in the comments so I know that you can hear me. And I'm just going to rotate my phone just a little bit so it's a little bit more straight. Okay, I think that's pretty good. Let me just refresh my laptop so I can see on my side. And we'll get started. I think that's pretty good. Okay, so good evening, friends. Welcome to my YouTube Live. Thanks for joining me tonight. I appreciate your support. I hope you guys all had a great weekend and that you're off to a great start this week. I'm going to give it a few minutes for a few people to find me. The YouTube algorithms are sometimes a little strange. So in the meantime, maybe you can write in the comments where you're watching from. It looks like I see Deb is here. And she says, I see you. I like those googly eyes. All right. So how was your weekend? Did you do anything exciting? Let us know. Yesterday I was able to take some time to be outside with my husband. It was such a great day. I would say epic on the mountains. We hadn't seen sunshine probably in about 2 weeks. So a bluebird day of hiking a new mountain in New Hampshire was calling. We drove to the entrance road. It took us about 45 minutes to get there. And we went to Mount Kearsarge South. I guess there's two mountains. I didn't know that one's a north and one's a south. We had to road walk about 8/10 of a mile just to get to the trailhead, as the road up to the place is closed during the winter months. The trail was so challenging, so steep, but it was a really good workout. And when you work hard at something, that end result, like in this instance, a summit, was spectacular. So I'm a little sore today, and so isn't Glenn. So, but we'll be out there again. So I want to go over, this is tonight's class here, but I'm going to just go over a couple reminders about what's going on in my stamp room. And it looks like we got Carla and Barbara on here. So if you're just coming on, let us know where you're watching from. Okay, so let's see. So I'm going to revisit the classes that I have running right now and give you an update on some of the other ones that have gone by and where I'm at in getting those out to you. So last week we went over my Valentine's Day card kit using the Many Thanks kit from our kit collection. And here's that kit here. When I saw this, I thought Valentine's Day. One, because of the hearts here. I'm going to just kind of like come in a little bit so you can see. This card right here would make a really nice Valentine's Day card. And I love the bright colors with the rainbow and all these little dots here. So I thought I would make a Valentine's Day class using one of our kits. So I was busy last week putting everything together, and I shipped out the orders placed last week. There's still time to get your kit, and there's enough time in the mail, like the mail, to get these to you where you can send them out as you want. So you can keep them as is. It's a thank you kit, but I will show you the cards here that we made with the kits. And you have 9 cards to make. And on the inside, I pretty much kept them blank. I've got to work on them and design them, but all of the cards come with these beautiful envelopes. So no designing on the envelopes. If you want to stamp something on the front side, that's great. But this is card number 1. And then card number 2 is that rainbow card. Love it. And then, of course, on the inside, I actually added some of the hearts. And if you can see, there's a little bit of Winkostella kind of like sparkling. So that is, I'm really close. So that's card number 2. And then, of course, your envelope. And then card number 3 is Be My Valentine. Okay, and then here's a little sparkly hearts. I think what I need to do go back and add some sparkly hearts to that first card, which is this one here, and add a little bit of Winkostella there. So I love Winkostella. It's so fun to use. But anyway, the many thanks, the Valentine's Day card kit includes the many thanks, which is this here kit, and it contains 9 card kits and envelopes. You'll receive the heart die cuts in Poppy Parade cardstock. That's the color here. You'll receive 40 in 5 different shapes and sizes of the hearts. Okay, and then this you'll receive a bunch of die cuts in basic white, and those are from the Stylish Shapes banner die cut, deckled circles, which is this one here, and then the countryside corner dies, which is this one. And all those dies, you'll get 5 of each, so 15 total. We're making 9 cards, so guess what? You're going to get a few extra so that you can use on future projects, so you can see if you like them or not. I love those 2 dies. I have 2 sets of each in my craft room. I also have a color printout of each card design that is inside the kit and the shipment. And also I threw in a bonus gift there too. So if you want to know what that bonus gift is, then you'll have to order my kit. All right, so that is my Valentine's Day kit. To order the kit, you can visit my website and find the information on the right sidebar. And let's see, the cost of the kit is $23, and it includes the USPS shipping. I think some of you out there have already ordered that, and maybe if you're close to me, you already received the kit in the mail. All right, on update on February card class, or card club actually, I'm going to be using the Hooray for Surprises bundle. So this is a stamp set. It's a photopolymer stamp set. Also comes with these fabulous dies. And it's kind of like an interactive set. Speaking of that, hold on just a second. I gotta find and I hope I have it. Debbie, my helper, who's actually watching, she created a template for me. And it's probably not in here because I put it somewhere else where my Garden Meadow dies are. But she created this fabulous template. And I really can't find it, Debbie. So I'll find it later. You know what? I'm going to post it on, if I can't find it, if it's not in the stack here, then I will post it on my Facebook page. She did a fantastic job, and I'm so sorry I don't have it here. But you can see some of these here that we've made. And I think making templates actually helps see the product better and to design better as well. Yeah, it's not in here. So that's the die cut I'm missing. Unlike my dies for the Garden Meadow bundle is somewhere. I don't know where. I can't finish my free with a purchase class end of January without finding it. Okay. I sound a little like unorganized, but truthfully, I am a really organized person. Okay, so I will be marketing my card club towards the end of this week. Make sure you're on my email list. And as a reminder again, we will be using the Hooray for Surprises bundle. You can find this bundle in the mini catalog on page 13. You can purchase the product individually or as a bundle. Make sure you add the bundle to your order as you will save 10%. So the price on the bundle is $46.75. And if you were to purchase both of them separately, it'd be $52. So I know I like to save money, and I'm sure you do as well. Okay, Saturday, let's see. Oh, the January 15th to 31st class to go is in the process. Somehow I misplaced the Garden Meadow dies. So I'll be using Debbie's. I'll be picking those up tomorrow. And then I will be getting that class out probably towards Thursday or Friday of this week. I have everything ready to go. It's just I need to get those dies and cut the special elements that go with that class. And then lastly, Saturday, I'll be vending at a craft fair in Waterbury, Vermont at the Crosset Brook School from 10 to 4 p.m. Come see me if you're in the area. It's a Valentine's Day craft fair. I haven't participated in a craft fair probably in about 3 years. So in my basement right now, I have my table set up. I have two booth space, so it's like 16 feet. And I'm trying to figure out my display. So I always like to do that ahead of time just so I'm a little bit more comfortable. You only have 2 hours to set up, and believe me, I take 2 hours. Okay, so tonight we will be working on 4 cards. And let me bring in the product here. We are going to be working with the Heartfelt Hellos stamp set and the Flight and Airy Designer Series paper. Here's my template for the paper and all the coordinating cardstock colors here. The Flight and Airy Designer Series paper and the Heartfelt Hellos stamp set can be earned for free with a $50 purchase. So each of these are valued for a free purchase individually for, like, say, 2 orders. Or maybe you have $100 order. You can order this one, or option level 2, which I'm not showing here tonight. But I wanted to showcase the Flight and Airy designer paper because it's really, it's so beautiful, especially with the birds. And I can hear some spring birds already here coming back to Vermont. So Easter's coming up. So I've got an Easter card for you as well, Mother's Day, and a few other ones as well. Okay, so I am also, this is my free with a purchase class. So I will be offering this from starting today all the way through February with an order placed on my website. It's a $40 order at inspiredbygraham.com. That amount does not include tax or shipping, so it's on product. And then if you bump your order up to $50 in product, I'll add in an embellishment of my choice, plus you will earn 1 free Sale-a-bration item from Stampin' Up. So, and one of these could be that free gift from Stampin' Up. The stamp set and designer series paper is part of the free products, like I had mentioned. And don't forget, Sale-a-bration ends on February 29th. So additional products were added last week to Sale-a-bration. So make sure you check that out as well. Okay, we're going to get started creating this class for you. And also as a bonus, I said in my email this afternoon that you will receive a bonus 2 bonus projects with this, and I'm not going to show them to you tonight because they're a bonus and you'll have to order that class if you want to see them. Okay, so we're going to start with the Enjoy Your Day, and we'll bring it in here. As you most all know, if you've watched me, I am a very simple stamper. That's I would say that my very first Stampin' Up! Project was not very simple. It was heat embossing, but that sold me on Stampin' Up! And paper crafting. So for me, I love quick and simple cards that you can mass produce. Any of these designs, except for the last one, I would say, can be made really, really quickly and uses a nice amount of designer series paper where you can just make a ton of cards. So this one here is using Garden Green, and on the inside we've just got a blank panel of basic white. All of my card kits, if they are a base color other than basic white or very vanilla, all receive basic white panels. I don't really like writing on the cardstock itself. I like to have some white on the inside, so you can always expect that I will be sending you some panels for the inside of your cards. Okay, so let me grab my kit. And most of the products, actually, I think every single product that I'm using, except for the stamp set in the designer series paper, is in the annual catalog. Just because we have a mini catalog out does not mean that our annual catalog has gone bye-bye. Okay, we have excellent products in there, and I'm going to be showcasing them tonight. All right, so the first thing actually I need to do is I need to re-ink my garden green. We used it at last week's in-person class and it got heavily used. So when I was making the Enjoy Your Day card here, when I stamped this, it didn't come out very dark. So what I had to do was I took my Stampin' Right marker and I just colored it in so I could get a much deeper garden green tone. So I'm going to re-ink, and I'm going to show you how I re-ink my ink pads. You may not do it this way. This is how Karen does it. So what I do is I always make sure before I start that I have garden green and the refill called garden green in my hands and in front of me. So then I just take my refill, and some of these are really thick, so you really have to press hard to get those little bubbles to come out and onto your ink pad. I kind of like to focus on the middle because I think that's where most stampers tend to grab the ink from, is in the middle. Rarely do I see people going to the outside. We just go right to the middle because that's where we can get the most coverage. So I kind of center myself around this area and adding a little bit to the outside as well. And then I always like to take a tissue to my refill and just clean it off so there's no residue on there. And then I'll just cap it. And I have a slot over here in front of me where I'll just put it away. Okay, then the next step I do is I take my bone folder. Some people will use a spoon, the smooth side of the spoon, and they'll go back and forth. I like to go and grab the ink. You see how that just is going right into that felt? It's super, it's kind of, probably needs more ink than that. But I like to take my bone folder and just go one way, this way, and then I rotate and I go back this way. And I'm giving a little bit more pressure on the outside because that's where your ink kind of goes to. It will dissipate here, but then you're going to be left with more ink on the outside. So I like to grab some of that ink there. And then I'm going to go back this way, about 4 times each, and then this way. So I've gone all the way around the ink pad. And then I just take a tissue to wipe off the bone folder. Okay, your bone folder will stain. This is why mine is all stained. It's water-based ink. However, as you can tell, it doesn't always come off, like items like this. It comes off your hands, but it doesn't come off the bone folder. And I've got various colors on here. I re-inked Poppy Parade the other day, so that's why you have that little pinkish amount there. The other thing is, say you inked this way too much and it's like heavily, like got too much ink. All you need to do is turn it over and press it down on some paper, and that will take out some of the ink. Another thing I like to do before I actually use it on a card is I just take some scrap paper, and this is the stamp I'm going to be using, which is Enjoy Your Day. And I can already tell that is such a difference. It's sticking, the stamp is sticking to the ink pad. And this isn't the basic white, so I know it's not going to stamp 100%, but it does do a much better job than it did on that first card. So I'm happy with this. Normally I would flip this over and store it for 24 hours before I use it. That way that ink can, dissipate all the way around, and then we get a better stamped image. Okay, so we're gonna start. Let's find my card kit, and we are going to be starting our class. All right, all products I'm using is Stampin' Up! Products. And I'm using crumb cake. So crumb cake is 8.5 by 5.5. I've already pre-scored and burnished it at 4.25. And then I've got my basic white for the inside panel, which is going to go here. And then I've got some layers. I got 3 different layers: garden green, basic white, and the flight and airy. And then I have a strip of the designer paper that's going to go inside inside the card. So this is my level of cards. Every single card, like number 2 is going to be a little bit more than number 1, number 3 a little bit more than 1 and 2, and then the 4th one is going to be like the most difficult card. Okay, so what I'm going to do first is I'm going to stamp. So there's going to be 2 things I stamp, and that is going to be this basic white piece here, and also the envelope. Every single envelope is going to have the word hello. And the reason why I chose this is because hello will go with every single sentiment that we have in this stamp. And instead of adding the designer series paper, which I normally will do, I'm just going to stamp the word hello. One of the reasons why I'm doing that is because I'm mass producing Easter and Mother's Day cards this week. So I want something simple, quick, easy, no adhesive to kind of get these done. All right, so I'm going to take my basic white and I'm going to ink up again the Enjoy Your Day. And I'm going to stamp it at the top, but a little bit in. And let me just take this a little bit closer to myself. And I'm holding it there for a little bit just because I re-inked that ink pad. Oh, that's crooked. So I'm going to try that again because we have 2 sides to every paper. I'm actually going to bring it a little bit closer to me so then I can get it straight. Okay, that's better. Okay, so I'm going to show you that trick I did because this stamps, wait, I just grabbed the wrong one, I think. Yep, shaded spruce. I don't want that. I want garden green. Where'd you go? Where did I put my garden green? I don't see it. It's right there, Karen. Okay, so if you can see, this letter N is pretty dark. The E, the J, O, and Y are not as dark as that N. So I'm going to take my Stampin' Right marker. I'm using the felt tip, and I'm just going to make a line. Oh, shoot, I went outside the line. And then just go in here very lightly. This is a new Stampin' Right marker, so I know it's juicy. So I don't have to add much ink because what it's happening is I'm kind of going in the middle of that letter, O, and the ink is moving out to where there's not a lot of ink. Hopefully I kind of said that right and you understand what I'm talking about. So that's the first step. And then I'm going to take the fine tip and I'm going to go into the areas where I can see the ink didn't hit. And that way I have now a little bit darker Enjoy. Your day is fine. So let me show you. I wish I had a before and after, but you can see now that all the letters are pretty close to the N. A little bit lighter, but at least they're kind of the same. We're done with the garden green ink. I'm going to bring my Stampin' or my silicone mat here. And we're going to adhere everything together to complete the card. So I like to work on layers. So the white's going to go on the green. So I'll take my little liquid glue bottle. And this is a new one, so I know that glue is going to come out super fast. And we're working with 1/4 inches tonight, you guys, not 1/8 inch. And I'm just going to be really careful, try to keep this straight. And then this panel, oh wait, sorry, I didn't want to do that. I wanted to do this one here. The designer series paper goes on next. And this is going to go on the bottom. Again, I'm looking for that border on the left, right, and bottom side to be equal or close to. Okay, I'm going to just press that down real lightly. You can flip it over and press from the back side as well. That looks pretty good. Next thing is I'm going to add that garden green ribbon. So this ribbon, again, is in the annual catalog. It is it's garden green and real red. It's a combo pack, 5 yards a piece, and it's been in the catalog. We've seen it for a couple years. This is a 12-month, in my mind, ribbon, just because red, we're close to Valentine's Day, green can be used all the time. So I'm going to just grab some of that ribbon. And I use painter's tape, by the way, to, actually, I already tore it off. But I use painter's tape, and this is how I add or keep the ribbon under control. I just bring it up like this. People have asked me how I do this, so I'm going to just show you. And I use painter's tape. It's kind of like washi tape where I know it's going to come off easy and not like scotch tape. I used to use scotch tape, and when I use scotch tape, it kind of frays the ends. So I've stepped up my game and used painter's tape. Okay, we're going to create a knot over on the left side here. If you struggle with keeping your ribbon under control, what you can do is you can take some tear and tape adhesive. Just find the end. I think this is a new roll. You don't need a lot, like maybe 1/2 inch. Add it to the middle here, in between half of the designer series paper and half of the white. Make sure it's on there really well. And let me grab my, oh, I got it. I was going to use my take your pick tool, but I got it. Okay, so now we're going to create that knot over here. And I'm just going to kind of go around. Knots right now, I can't make bows just because of my hand surgery not being a success. It is kind of getting better. Actually, today's the first day I haven't had to take ibuprofen, which is a miracle. Even after yesterday, and oh, look at that flat knot I just created. That is so nice. I never really create flat knots. All right, I'm going to pull that tight. So what happened was that tear and tape secured that ribbon in place so that I could make that bow. The other thing is you can still move this to the side. All you need to do is pull up that ribbon so it's not stuck anymore, and then kind of curve your card and then just move it. See how you can move it into place? So just make sure you bend the card panel before you start moving it, because you're going to, if you don't do that, you're going to start tearing into that garden green and it's going to not look as good. So just make sure that's in place. You can add a mini glue dot if you want underneath that knot once you get it set in place. And I'll show you how to do that. I'm just going to grab one of these mini glue dots off the dispenser. I'm going to roll it up. And then I'm going to pick up that knot, slide it under, press down here, and then remove. That way I know it's staying put. Next step, I'm just going to trim down the tails on the bow here. I don't want it super big because I don't want it covering the words over here. Okay, next step, we're going to use some Stampin' dimensionals. And we're going to add 5 here to the back of this panel. You probably could get away with 4, but I'm just going to add 5 just because I want to. And 5's an odd number, right? We all like odd numbers. Okay, got those all off. And they won't come off that. There we go. Got them in the garbage and they didn't go on my floor. We'll bring in that cardstock again. Again, it's called Crumb Cake. It's a light brown. And I'm just simply adding this, trying to get it as straight as I can. And then when I'm happy with it, I really give it a good press so I know that that panel's on here. One of the final steps we're going to do is we're going to add this designer series paper at the bottom here. You can use up your scraps, okay? If this is not the same pattern as what's on the front, don't worry about it. Stampin' Up! Products do coordinate real nice, and typically anything will work with the designer series paper. It all kind of coordinates together. Okay, I like to add a little bit of white space here. I don't come to the edge. I just like that little break in the paper. And then lastly, we'll just add this panel to the inside and get it centered real nice. Okay, one thing I did forget is I'm going to be selling this card in my craft fair. So I want that angel policy on all of these cards. So I'm going to go back and stamp this. This is an older one. There's a new one in the annual catalog. That's where you'll find it. I can't remember what page it's on, but it's there for you to use if you're selling Stampin' Up! Products like that you've made. So I know this is Stampin' Up! It's got a copyright on it. So that's why I need to abide by that stamp, the angel policy. The embellishments tonight I'm going to be using on all 4 cards are the Festive Pearls. I use these quite often because they go with everything. We've got gold, silver. I think this is like it's a very light, I think it's Pool Party, but don't quote me, and Cherry Cobbler. For this card here, I am going to grab, what's going to go with green? I don't want it Christmassy, so I'm going to go with the gold. And they're really tiny, but for this kind of small area, you don't want some really huge embellishments because that will just take it over. So again, we're going to form our triangles. So we've got one here, and then we're going to want to either go down here, but not straight here, just a little bit up so we can form that triangle. That way they're not straight across from each other or up and down. If you want, you can add that little shine of Wink of Stella. I like to add it to a few of these little birds, and I just give it a light brush stroke, and that's it. Okay, so that's our card for number 1. Okay, so that's one I used, and then you can see, even though that the designer series paper is the same pattern, it looks different because of how I cut the paper. On this card here, I used the iridescent gems. I only had like maybe 5 left, so that's why I switched over to the Festive Pearls. Let me fix that little bow. There we go. Okay, so we've got our hello envelope. If you want, you can add your designer series paper onto the flap. That's always a nice, attractive use of your designer paper as well. I'm going to check to see if there's any questions. If there are no questions, I'll clean up my area and we will move on to card number 2. So let's see what we got here. Oh, whoops. Okay. Oops. I hate when that happens. Oh, okay. Okay, you guys are talking about YouTube and names. That's fine. No questions. Okay, so I'm going to pick up this one and we're going to move on to card number 2. I'll need the Festive Pearls, so they're going to stay out. I also take, when there's a combo pack of ribbon, normally I write it on here. I thought I did, but I guess I didn't. I use a binder clip to keep these two together. That way I know that these are a combo pack and they don't get separated. So that's what I do for my ribbon. Okay, I think I've got everything here. Let me get rid of my ink pad. I'm using 4 different inks tonight also. All right, our next card is a Mother's Day card. And this is what it looks like. Now, some of you, like myself, I lost my mother last year in June 16th to be exact. So I don't have a mother, but that doesn't mean I can't send out a Mother's Day card, right? Because I've got a sister that's a mother. I have sister-in-laws that are mothers. I've got a daughter-in-law who gave us some or some grandsons. So I'll be sending out Mother's Day cards even though I don't have a mother. So I'm going to show you how I made this one. I did fussy cut these birds out and I'll tell you why I did that once I get going on the card. So the products I used the modern oval punch. This is great. You can use it on lots of different sentiments that are big enough to use it on. And it seems like a lot of our sentiments are a little bit bigger. So the modern oval punch, if you want the item number, it's 162234. It's $22, only $22. It's a great purchase. The ribbon comes again from the annual catalog. And it is called it's 3/8 of an inch inner braid ribbon. And it's Misty Moonlight, and we've got some white in the middle. So that's the ribbon I'll use. I've got the Mother's Day stamp on a D block. It's one of my popular blocks in my craft room. And we've got the card kit here. So let me just reorganize here. Oh, another thing I want to do is, since I need that hello stamp, I'm going to take my Stampin' Scrub. I love my Stampin' Scrub. I've got 4 of them, mainly because I teach in-person classes and I need 4. I've had these from like day one, let me step back a little bit. At least one of them in my supply has been in my craft room since 2012. So you do the math and you can tell me how old that Stampin' Scrub is, and it still works perfect. Okay, so we've got our basic white envelope. And what else do we have in here? Lots of little things. I'm going to do my stamping first. So again, we're going to use the envelope here and also the modern oval. My color is Fresh Freesia. And this one I re-inked earlier today, so I'm not going to promise you anything. What I think I'm going to do is I'm going to stamp on some of this scrap paper first so that I know it's good. I can tell that it's a little bit darker in the middle. Somehow that ink pad got a little messed up. I don't know if I did it or somebody else did it. So I think it's okay. I know that's not basic white, so it's going to stamp a little bit different. And we've got 2 sides to every white paper here. So let me see if I can get this on the first try. I'm just going to get it a little bit closer to me. All right, that is perfect. Happy Mother's Day and Fresh Freesia. And also, let's take that card base, and this is going to open up this way. So I'm going to flip this over here. I'm going to take my Angel Policy stamp and just stamp it down in the lower part of that card base. We're all done with Fresh Freesia. We'll shut this. And we'll do some assembly here. Oh, I didn't stamp the hello. How many of you guys noticed I didn't do that? Let's bring this back out. This stamp set's great because you can make a nice card set. The only stamp that I did not use for today is the father's, I think it says, hello, Dad. What does it say? Dad, you're the best. And what else one did I use? And I'm using the hello. So you can maybe think that Dad, you're the best is going to be one of those bonus cards. I wanted to use every single sentiment in that set. So Okay, samples right in front of me. This is going to be pretty much the same process, just a little bit differently. We're going to add some glue here to the back side of the Flight and Airy. Again, if you're just coming on to watch, I am teaching a free class tonight using Flight and Airy designer paper along with the Heartfelt Hello stamp set, which you can earn for free with a $50 order on my website. We're in Sale-a-bration right now, so it's a great time to either purchase Stampin' Up! Products or join my team, the Inspired Daisies team. So if you would like some information on my team, you can go to my website, and if you hit the join now, it's going to take you to what I offer my team and all that good stuff. Okay, we've got that all glued together. We're going to take, I don't think I cut the ribbon on this one, so I will do that live. I think you need about like 12 inches of ribbon. So what I like to do is you can do this a little bit with, differently. You can cut this ribbon. Maybe I'll do that to show you. The other way, so you can kind of tape it on the back side and then take a small piece and make that knot over there. I kind of don't like that. I don't know why I don't like it. I just like to wrap it around like this. Some people might say that's waste, but you know what? You're still going to cut off about this much to do that knot. So I don't really worry about it too much. I'm going to show you a trick though, and I'm going to use my silicone craft sheet to do this. If you struggle again with ribbon, let me show you a trick where you can, this only happens if you're adding the panel to a card front. So I've added my dimensionals, my 4. Since the ribbon's going to go right in the middle, I need to move that up or down from the center. And I'm going to prep these. So we'll take all the backs off. And then I know that this panel's not going to stick permanently because I'm using the silicone craft sheet. If I was using my desk, of course, it would stick to the paper here. So the next thing I'll do is I need to bring in the card base close to me. I'm also making sure that that stamped image is the right way. I'm wrapping this on the back side. And then I'm going to add this right to the card front. Okay, and make sure it's really good and pressed. Now, my ribbon still is movable, which is great. Let me just bring this over here to figure out if I've got enough to make that tail or that knot, which I think I do. I don't like to waste ribbon because, you know, that's going to cost us some money, so I try to not waste very much. Now this is tricky because there's only one side to this ribbon, so I'm going to probably just get that Misty Moonlight on the front, but I don't care because there's a little bit of white showing. I was mainly concerned about the front being the same. I didn't want one like have the white and one that doesn't. So I think that's pretty good. It's nice and tight. Let me remove this I'm just going to cut at an angle. Make sure you're using ribbon scissors. These are I've had these probably since 4-H. Like that's a long time ago. And I just add a little bit of ribbon on here so I know that I only use those to cut fabric or ribbon. Okay, that's looking pretty good. We're done with the ribbon. By the way, this is found on page 143 of the annual catalog. It's $8. And you get approximately 10 yards of ribbon. So quite a bit of ribbon. Okay, so now notice one thing. We've got birds, right? But there's a tiny little head there. There's kind of a half of a bird here, and then we don't have a bird over here that has a head. Okay, so, but I don't want you to worry about that. Okay, because we're going to fix that. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add that sentiment with some dimensionals. I'm adding 4 because you need 4. This is a little bit larger. We don't want it buckling. Plus, we want that area here for the ribbon because this is going to go right over that ribbon. Okay, let's bring that card in here. Again, make sure it's opening correctly. And I'm going to just slide this in. I like to take my finger to make sure that ribbon is flat. And then I'm just going to put it right here. Okay, take a look. I like it, and press it down. If you think your hands are sticky or they're kind of dirty, maybe they have some ink on there, just take one of the D blocks, which I use a lot. Make sure it's clean, and you can just press it down like that as well. Now, let's complete the inside. So I've got this little bird that's half, like cut off. I've already fussy cut this bird, which I'll save for the front. And then I have this designer paper here that is cut 1 inch tall, and it's 5¼ inches. So it's the same width here as the basic white. Let me quickly fussy cut this one out. If I can find my paper snips here. And so when we have patterns like a bird, maybe a house, you know, trees, we have edge pieces. And a lot of times we don't want to use them, but I'm going to show you how to use one. I do this quite often when I have pattern paper that I really like, especially these birds. And I know a lot of you out there love this paper. So use your edge pieces, okay? Don't worry about it. So this has got a straight edge. I'm going to add this first because I want to see where that is going to, how that's going to look. So we'll just take our glue, just a little bit. And we'll add this to the bottom. Again, I got that white space below the edge. I like to have that there. I always double check to make sure that the paper is not going over the edge. If it was, I'll just take my paper snips and trim it down. Now I'll take this bird and I'm going to add it to the edge. Isn't that cute? I think it's cute. So let's add some glue here. And we're just gonna, since there's a bird right here, I'm gonna move this up a little bit. Okay, so I got some little glue that's kind of oozing out. So let me just take some tissue here. Okay, isn't that cute? And it's okay that it was straight because my paper is straight, and I think it was meant to look like that. On the other card, I'll bring that in just a second, and I'll show you how I added that bird to the inside panel. It's a little bit different than what I just showed you. Okay, so now, get rid of that piece of ribbon. We have this bird, and what I should have done was I should have put the bow over here, right? Because this bird is now going to look kind of funky with it over here. So let's see if I can tear this apart. Oh, I'm going to show you a trick. I learned this from another demonstrator. Take your paper snips and grab that dimensional in there and cut it down. Okay. Be careful not to cut the ribbon. Pull it off careful. Okay. Now we have these on here. Don't worry about it. Because with dimensionals, you can just rub them off if you're really careful. And no one will ever know that they were on here. Well, you guys will know, but the recipient of this card if they're not watching this live, will never know that we had this on there. So now I'm going to see if I can do this very carefully. See, I'm taking that panel, curving it up, and moving this to the opposite side. Okay. Now I'm going to just leave this. I'm going to basically, let's see if this works first before I go all the way through this. Okay, so I've got that there. And then I'm going to add this bird over here. Okay, I don't want that tail going over the edge because then it'll get crushed in the envelope. So I'm probably going to move this over just a little bit. These dimensionals are definitely not worth anything right now, so we're going to do the same thing. We're going to rub them off. They come off pretty quick, easy. Some of you might have a adhesive remover. I wouldn't use it. I'd just use my fingers. Okay, we're going to reapply some new dimensionals. Okay, and we'll take those off. I'm just throwing them on the floor. Don't worry, I sweep up at the end of the day. Okay, so remember we got to bring it in just a little bit. I'm going to make sure that's straight before I press it down. It looks good. Now I'm going to take this little tiny bird and I'm going to put it over here on this corner. I know that this here, the belly of the bird needs my liquid glue because we want it to be at the same height. So I've got a little bit of glue there, but the rest of it needs to be the same height as the sentiment label. So I will add 2. So we've got now our dimensionals and some liquid glue. And I want that liquid glue to hit this area here. And I'm looking at the tail. And before I press it down, I always look, make sure it's looking good, and then I'll press it down. Okay. We are going to add some festive pearls to this one. And tonight I'm not using the cherry cobbler because it really doesn't go. So for this one here, I think I'm going, since we've got some blues going on, I'm going to take this color here and we're going to form our triangles with the little festive pearls. Let's add this one right here. Okay. Wink of Stella is going to be next because I'm coordinating this as a set. So the first card had Wink of Stella and the second card as well. You can add some Wink of Stella on the other birds that are showing if you want. There's a little bird right here. Okay, so again, we have 2 different cards, books, right? They're made the same way, except for we have 2 different birds. We've got the ribbon not on the opposite side. On the inside, I used this tiny bird. That's literally how big that was. And then on this side, we've got the bird on the left side. So what I did with this one is I added the designer series paper first. And since this is a straight edge, I just lined it up, added in, put it down with some liquid glue, called it good. Actually, I'm going to add some Wink of Stella to this card here. I didn't do that. Okay, so what you think? I love fresh freesia. It goes nicely with the Flight and Airy paper. And let's see, do we have any questions here? Doesn't look like it. Okay, so I'm gonna clean up. Here's our envelopes that match, right? Again, this is another quick and easy card. It's just one level up from that first one. Okay, we need the festive pearls. Actually, I want to keep these for the end. I'm going to clean my stamps because I don't want to contaminate my area. So let me take my Stampin' scrub real quick And we'll clean those up. And I want to make sure that I have, yes, Angel Policy stamp. We don't need the fresh freesia, so I'm going to take that and put it away. The modern oval punch. Again, a great punch for just $22. You guys know I'm a punch person. I love punches. Okay, this is my favorite card out of all four. It's so cute and so elegant. It's my Easter card. Boho Blue is our blues. So Boho Blue, Misty Moonlight. We got this beautiful ribbon. First time I've actually used it. It's in the annual catalog. And then on the inside, just a quick and easy strip. This pattern here did not come from this print. It was just one of my scraps. It goes nicely, so I went for it. All right, to complete this card, again, I'm not using any dies tonight, all punches. So we have the punch that's called The Lasting Label. It's on page 148 of the annual catalog, again for $22, can't go wrong. This is a retired punch. It's 1 3/4. It's a circle punch. They don't have this size. You could use the 2-inch circle punch, which we now have, and that would work. The ribbon. So I wrote on here what it is because these don't have any printing on them. So it's the 3/8 of an inch sheer ribbon combo pack in the annual catalog. Item numbers 161635. It's $12.50. It's a little bit more money than our other ribbon, but there's 5 yards each of the colors. Afternoon Azure, or Azure Afternoon, I can't remember which way it goes. Somebody can correct me. Bubble Bath and the Lemon Lolly. Okay, I'm going to be using the Bubble Bath because Bubble Bath is in the Designer Series paper as one of the colors. Again, I've got all these with binder clips, so I don't lose them. We've got my Thinking of You This Easter. That's mounted on a C block. I've got Boho Blue ink, and I've got my card kit. Another easy card, but this is just going to show you how to kind of make that little loopy loop with the Bubble Bath. We're going to get our stamping completed. And again, I'm using Boho Blue. And this really is kind of stiff. I haven't used it much, and I should. All right, let's just stamp the sentiment right in the middle of that circle. Ooh, that stamped really nice. And then we've got our hello. Always make sure you look where that flap is. Once in a while, I will stamp and it'll be upside down. And then let's bring in our card base. Again, this is going to be going in the same direction. It's going to open up like this. So we flip it over and we're going to add that Angel Policy stamp to the back side. While those inks are drying, I'm just going to quickly take my Stampin' Scrub and clean these. So far, I've been good. I haven't contaminated an ink pad because I'm using 4 different inks. Usually, I don't use that many. Okay, so we're done with that stamp. We're going to close this up. Okay, another card that's basically built this kind of the same way. So I'm going to start with the main focal point here. I've got Misty Moonlight. That will adhere basic white. And then the Flight and Airy designer paper. And I do remember this was not cut correctly. So let me grab my paper trimmer. I've already made some kits for this, so I got to go back and fix this. So this is not 4 inches, it's 3 3/4 of an inch. So I'll just take that off real quick. In your instruction sheets, you're going to receive all the measurements of the paper that I'm cutting. That way you'll know how to cut the paper. You won't have to measure anything. Okay, so I'm going to start with a pretty paper. This is the back side. It's nice too. Okay, this could be a masculine card with the sentiment, Dad, you're the best. You could build it this way. All kind of darker colors. And then just pretend this is the sentiment. But I wouldn't do, I would probably use, I don't know, it's kind of a horizontal, but so the circle won't work. So I would work something else. Maybe I'd have to use a die. I could also fussy cut it out too. But just the other side of the designer paper can create something totally different. So make sure you're always looking at both sides. Okay, those cute, sweet birds I'm going to have to cover up, unfortunately. All right, so we'll take these two and add it right here, 1/4 inch for your borders. Okay, we're not going to wrap ribbon around, so that's good. We're going to just stick this down with our dimensionals. Again, I'm going to add 5 just because that middle section it's got the focal point on the other side and it's going to be a little heavy. So we want to add that. Okay, we'll quickly take those. Sometimes the dimensional backings just come off. Other times they just stick on there. Again, double check, opening this way, and our angel policies line back. And then we add this to the front. Now the little trick, I don't know if it's a trick, but this is something I do. Instead of adding my regular adhesive, I'm going to take some tear and tape. So let me just find the end here. I love brand new products. It's a full roll. I just started using this one of tear and tape. And tear and tape's super sticky, but it's easy to work with. I'm going to add 3 lines of the tear and tape. And to adhere this down, you can take your bone folder and just press it down. I highly recommend this. That way I know the adhesive is going to stay. If you have bubbles underneath that, most likely it's not going to pull off very good. Meaning the backings won't pull off very good. You'll probably pull off the backings and the adhesive. So just take that extra time to take your bone folder and just rub it back and forth. Okay. All right, so now we're going to grab some of that ribbon. Again, it's the 3/8 sheer ribbon, bubble bath. And just let me remove this painter's tape here. Put it there. And then, before I cut it off, I'm going to figure out how much I need. So I grab it here with my left hand. I'm right-handed. And then I kind of put these two together. And then I wrap it around. I don't have to worry. This is two-sided. I mean, it's the same side. There's no right or wrong side. Okay. I'm going to trim this off. And then, oops, that went flying. Hold on, I gotta find it. It got stuck to my ribbon. So it went flying off my desk and landed on a dimensional. Okay, super sticky. Can you see that? That's why I use the tear and tape. I can't get it off. Okay, so now I'm gonna wrap this again just because I think I probably messed it up a little bit. So again, 2 fingers, 3, your thumb, middle, and index, and then grab it in the middle, and then wrap it around like this. Oops. It's super slippery ribbon and very nice. Okay, then I'm gonna turn this horizontally And I'm going to add the middle to the middle. Okay, look at it before. Okay, I think that's pretty good. Might want to trim this down a little bit. Frayed just a little bit. I'm going to add my dimensionals to the back of this because I want it raised up off that paper. And I'm adding the dimensionals kind of on top of the ribbon. That way I know it's like double secured down and it's not going to come off. Okay, bring in our card. I'm gonna have to cover up those cute little birds, but we gotta do it. And I'm just kind of looking at the paper, not the ribbon, just the paper. Okay, we got that on there. The circle, we're gonna pop that up as well. I'm gonna take 3 dimensionals this time and create a triangle. I like giving my circles some height now. I've been switching that out, especially on the double oval punch, which I'll be using on the next card. Gonna place this on here and make sure it's good and straight. Gotta go up a little bit because I can see that boho blue poking through the top. Yep, still doing that. So I'm just gonna move it up just a tiny bit. Okay, I think that's good. I'm looking at both sides, pretty equal. And super cute with that bubble bath. On the inside, we'll just take our basic white. And this time I'm gonna add the designer paper on the right side. You can do the right side, the left side or the right side. Doesn't really matter. You know what? I'm gonna put it on the left side because that straight edge of the bird will look better on the left side. And I'm gonna line it up with the edge of the paper instead of leaving that white space. Okay, should have my silicone craft sheet underneath here, but I don't. Okay, this is going to go over the edge just a little bit, so I'll just take my paper snips and trim that down. That's just like a 1/16 of an inch. Okay, so now this bird looks like it was designed that way with a straight edge. And then we'll add this one. You can stamp a message in there if you want. Like the hello could be used in every single one of these cards we used or made tonight. Used. Okay, my festive pearls. In this ribbon, we have some silver. So with the festive pearls, we have silver. And I'm going to grab 3 of those. Remember, odd numbers are more pleasing to your eyes than even. And we'll form that triangle again. Let's see, where do I want to put this one? I'm going to put it right down here. Now this bird on the inside and these little heads here, let's give it a little bit of glitter. Okay, so there we go. Here's this one. Again, this card is going to look different than this one because of the paper and the placement of the ribbon, really. I mean, those loops are different than this one, but it's the same products. Okay, let me know what you think about this one. Hopefully I haven't been off camera. I haven't really been paying attention to my laptop. I've just been winging it right here. Not even looking up. I'm teaching your class. Okay, I'm going to put this all back together while you guys take a look at that one. And we'll clip these together. You'll need 2 clips because we've got 3 rolls. Okay, and again, we've got matching coordinating envelopes that say hello, stamped in boho blue. So we'll put those together. Love this Easter card. I gotta mass produce a lot of these before Saturday, that is for sure. Because in my booth, I will have, like I have probably, I don't know, 700, 800 greeting cards to sell. I won't sell them all, but I'm going to take out my Easter cards and my Valentine Day cards separate. I have a card rack where I'm going to put my Valentine's Day cards in and Easter so they're up front and center. That way people will gravitate towards those. All right, we're on to the 4th card. It's a fun fold, you guys. I created a fun fold for you. Don't do that very often. All right, I need some more room, so let me just kind of put some of this stuff back in my little tray. I have this little tray here to keep me a little bit more organized. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. So it's working tonight, knock on some wood. Okay, all our punches. Okay, this card is a Love You More card. So it's got the basic layout of the square. Here's my favorite, most highly used punch, which is the double oval. And it opens up. We've got basic, hold on. Sorry about that. Allergies. So I've got my white here that's embossed with the basics, and then it opens up. Look at that sweet little bird, right? So cute. And then we have another little bird with some flowers. That was an edge piece. Okay, I got a little iridescent gem on the inside, but that's because I placed it here, right? So pretty. I guess I could have put a bird over here and I could have put a bird over here, but that might have been a little overkill. So this will take me some time and some thinking. Hopefully I won't screw it up for you. But we're going to have the double oval punch. It's probably $22. I didn't write the name on it. And as you can see, my label needs to be replaced because I can barely read it. And this is in the annual catalog. Misty Moonlight is our ink color. I've got Love You More. Here's my hello. And I've got some extra scallops just in case I need them. Okay, so got all my little pieces. They're all fussy cut, so you don't have to worry about that. Let's take our envelope out and find that little oval. These are the only 2 items that we need to stamp. And the back side, of course, our card base. Let me grab that. Okay. So I'll start with the hello. Okay. And then this one here, we've got a 1-inch cut off. Okay, so I know this is the front, so flip it on over and grab your angel policy. And I've got it stamped down there. While that's drying, I'm going to come over here. And I've noticed that this Misty Moonlight is so juicy. Let's see if I can get this on the first shot. This barely fits. Oh, that's really juicy. I'm going to see if I can stamp that again, moving it over just a little bit. And I did the same thing. I wanted to shove it over a little bit so that little part of the L is not missing, but that's okay. Slide that over because that is really juicy. Misty Moonlight, we're all done with that one. All right, I'm going to do the easy stuff first, and then I'm going to tackle assembling the card because I don't want to screw it up. So we're going to go with the easy stuff first. I've got my Misty Moonlight Square, and I've got my Designer Series paper here. You can actually use this side too. That would look really pretty. Let's grab my glue, and we will add this right here. Again, we've got a 1/4 of an inch border. Just straighten that just a little bit. And then the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to grab the sentiment and the scallop, Misty Moonlight scallop, and let me grab my snips because I've used all of my middle pieces. Now I just need to let me cut some of these down. Make sure you use your edge pieces. Don't throw them away. I'm going to add 2 to the back side. It should have been actually on this white. Hopefully I don't have to take them off. I'm going to raise up this sentiment so it's not right on top of the Misty Moonlight. Okay, that's good. Set that one aside. Now I'm going to take this basic white. It's already been embossed with the Basics 3D embossing folder, and it's going to get adhered right to the front of this on the left side. So far, it's very easy. Okay, so now a little tricky part. All right, we need our white, and we need this little strip here. This is the strip that we cut off from here. It was part of the process, but this is 1 inch. So what I want to do is here, I don't want it on the back side. I want to sneak it in between the white and the card base itself, and it's about 1 inch. You can score it if you want, if that's easier for you. But I am just going to add a little bit of glue here. Let me think. Ooh, I gotta go this way, Karen. I'm gonna do this backwards. So what I wanna do, where's my silicone craft sheet? I got a feeling I'm gonna make a disaster with this glue. All right, so I've got about 1 inch on the outside. I'm gonna fold it over. And then I'm gonna take my bone folder just to give it a good burnish. Okay, so we have that. This is a little mechanism that's gonna make this go back and forth. Only thing is, I think I might need to cut that down, but I'll figure that out later. So now this piece here can go down onto the card base. It goes just like this. Okay. And we're just gonna give it a little 1/4 of an inch border or so. Again, this is still going over. Okay. Then I'm going to need to trim this off because it's too long. And let me think, how far did I go over? Where is this? Okay, so this will help me decide how much to cut off. So I want some white showing on the left side of this panel here. Okay, so let's bring this over here. And I definitely want some blue over here, some Misty Moonlight. So I'm going to take, let me just take a pen. You can eyeball this if you want, or you can take some kind of marker. I'm just putting a dot right there. Now I'll just take my paper snips and I'm going to cut to the right side of the dot. Okay, then we're going to put this on to the back of this focal point here, and I glued it right down. So where your glue is going to want to go, you don't want to put your glue over here. Okay, you want to just kind of put it in this section here. Then again, grab your panel, and I'm looking, hopefully this is centered correctly. If you want to get out a ruler to center everything out, then go ahead and do that. I kind of eyeball things. Okay, so that is our little flappy thing. Then this is not very attractive here. Okay, so I cut another piece of designer paper, which is the same pattern, and I'm going to use the opposite side because like that bird's got its head missing and I don't want to show that, so I'm going to show this side of the paper. And this goes right over here. It covers up that little like handle. And then we have a few other things that we've cut from the designer paper. Here's an edge piece. And I'm going to go grab some more of that paper. And this is where your scraps will come in handy sometimes. So I keep my scraps from my designer paper in my cardstock in these little like file, whatever they are. You know what I'm talking about. So I'm going to just go through here to figure out which bird I might want to use. Oh, that is so pretty. Like you could totally put this. Okay, I think I'm not going to fussy cut. I'm just going to do it. Although I really wanted a piece to show you how I made that. So let me try to figure that out. Just go through my scraps really quick, because I want a little bit of something there showing. Okay, maybe this one. So I'm just gonna cut around this. Ooh, man, I don't want to cut that little flower, right? I don't know. I said I wasn't gonna fussy cut, but I might on this piece because I want to show you. It doesn't have to be perfect, okay? So I want this to be here. You know what? I might even kind of almost go with this. I'm going to keep the straight edge on the right and the bottom, and I'm just going to clean up this side. So kind of go in here around the leaf. I know this is a little bit of a longer live. Usually I'm not on, what time is it, 8:25? I haven't surpassed my record of 2 hours, but I'm showing you a lot of things tonight just because you might not know these things. And I like to share what I love to do. So I'm going to take some more time than normal to show you. Okay, I think that's pretty good. So let me get rid of these scraps here. And I'm going to adhere this one right there. Oh my gosh, it's so pretty. I know a lot of people have been using this paper and you might be getting tired of it. You don't want to see it, but like I was in that mood last week, but then I brought it out and I started using it again. I was like, oh my goodness, I'm not sick of this paper. It's so pretty, and it's spring, and the groundhog said we're going to have spring early, so I'm super excited about that. Ooh, that's going to look so good. All right, this one here, we're going to put that right there. We'll lift this one up with some dimensionals. Do not put it right onto that basic white. You're going to give it a little bit more contrast here, or I don't know, I don't want to say contrast, but definition maybe. Sneak that one in there. Okay. And I think this is what makes the card. I could be wrong, but it's like that thing you don't expect. Okay, then this one here is going to get glued because I want to cover this up. I think it kind of looks kind of awkward. You could put it in the middle if you wanted to, but then we're covering up that little bird. So I'm going to put it right there. And I did raise this one up as well. So we're going to do that again. Let's see, running out of small pieces. So we're going to cover up that a little bit. And I also had this piece I cut off earlier to put on the card. So you could put it, you know, up here if you want. Hey, I'm going to do it. I already cut it. Why not? I'm going to leave a little white space at the top, but it's lined up with the edge. Let me grab my Wake of Stella, and I've got to add the festive pearls. So just the birds will get the little sparkly. Got to really look. Some of these little birds are kind of hiding. And for the festive pearls, I think what I'll do, there's no ribbon on this card, which I don't think it needs it. It just, oh, well, you know what I'm gonna do is I need to move this over because guess what? You're gonna, you know something's there, right? So let's see if I can do it. Oh, I'm gonna get my scissors. We're gonna do the same thing. So I'll take my paper snips. I forgot to tell you that step, but we can fix it. As long as you're super careful. And if hopefully I won't forget, I want to show you my new organization for my embossing folders. This is a little bit harder to do. It'll take a little bit more time because we've got the dimensionals on embossed paper. Okay, so that's all cleaned up. And this one, I'm not going to worry about it. Well, should I? It's coming off. I just don't want to rip the paper. Okay, I think that's good enough. So again, I'm going to reapply some of these dimensional pieces. Okay, now here's the trick. I should have showed you this. Okay, so we know we got about less than 1/2 of an inch on the left side. So I'm going to put this on here first without sticking it down. That way I know that the bird and the branches are in, so you don't see it from the front side. There you go. I don't have it going over the edge, which is what I want. I don't want it going over the edge. So this is a perfect placement. So we don't know what's in there. Festive pearls are right in front of me. And for this one, I'm going to go with some gold. Let's go with some gold. 1, 2, and 3. All right, so let's clean up this desk. Put everything away. get all these dimensional backings off my area, and we will show you these two. Again, they're different, same design, same layout, and the paper is different on the front. Let's see. And the birds are different. Hopefully you guys can all see this. I gotta look. I'm just talking away without even looking. Okay, and then we can open it up and you see the full. Oh, I do like that up there, because now this looks too plain. So I might go back and add something up there. But this was a fun card. It didn't take a lot of effort, really. It's built on the same design as the others, but it's a fun fold. And it uses an embossing folder. Let me show you my organization. I just started today because I thought of it. And I was like thinking of a way where I could showcase my embossing folder papers, because with the 3D embossing folders, we have 3 different ones. So I have the Stampin' Up! Little mini album. It's gorgeous. It's very nicely made. You can purchase these little sleeves here that go in it. See, it's got Stampin' Up! Right on the back here. Inspire, create, and share. And then, I know it's probably going to be glaring, so let me see if I can kind of come out. I guess I'm at the furthest. So let me just wait for my laptop to catch up. Okay, I think I'm good, so you don't see a glare. So in this, I have, there's 3 sections. This is a bigger section. These are too small. Smaller sections, but there's 3 embossing folders. So what I'm doing is I'm putting the name, Basics 3D Embossing Folders. Choose from flowers, hobnail glass, dots, and cross-hatch designs. I have no idea what these things are. Like, I know that's kind of basic, but I call these like circles, but they're called choose from flowers, hobnail, glass, dots. I don't even know what that means. And cross-hatch designs, sold as a 3-pack. Item number 161598, and they're $30. You might say $30, but generally our embossing folders are $10 each. So we've got 3 different embossing folders. You will need the Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. They will not fit in the mini. But then my next page will be on this side, and I will put it in alphabetical order. The only thing I should have put on here was where these came from, annual catalog. But I can go back. So what I did with this one is I took some thick white, and this is just copy paper, and you can kind of see it's a little gluey, but I designed this in Microsoft Word, and then I cut this the same size as these and just added it on here. And then we've got a blank side on the back side, so I can go with the next one. So that's something new that I think is going to help me out organizational wise. Okay, so we're going to go over real quick the 3 designs, and we will say goodnight. Okay, we've got a lot. Let me just take this out. Okay, so again, you can earn this class as a reminder. The designer series paper, it's called Flight and Airy, along with the stamp set, which is the Heartfelt Hellos. We've got 6 different sentiments, all great. They can be earned with your qualifying order of $50. That comes from Stampin' Up. So if you place a product order of $50, you can choose one of these items. Or if you put in a $100 product order, you can choose both of them, because they're both worth the $50 each. Okay, and with a $40 order from my website, you can earn this class for free. You guys just watch me complete it. I think it turned out awesome. And let's see if I can fit these all on the screen. So we've got 2 cards that are horizontal and 2 that are portrait. Okay, so you can earn this class with a qualifying order of just $40 in product. And if you order $50 or more, I will throw in an embellishment of my choice. This class will ship probably the 3rd week of February. It closes out on February 14th, Valentine's Day. Don't forget your loved ones. And then I will order the products that I need and then get all the card kits ready to go and ship it out. So that's kind of how I work. And then what else? Just a reminder, Valentine's, if you don't have your Valentine's cards made, you can order my kit. It's ready to go. It includes the Saying Thanks kit, which we're going to transform into Valentine's Day cards, which I think turned out great. You'll receive the kit plus a lot of dies, 5 of each, no, 8. 8 of each size in Poppy Parade for the hearts. So 8 times 3. And then you'll receive 5 each of the sentiment die cuts. The envelopes are beautiful. They're white on the front, and then you got that cool envelope flap that goes with every single one. There's 9 cards in the kit. You can make thank you cards if you want, but I transformed them into Valentine's Day cards, as you can see here. You'll need the stamps to stamp whatever you want on the front, because I can't send stamped images, but it's a reasonable price class for $23, and that can ship this week in time so you can get your Valentine's Day cards created really quick and easy with my kit. So that all can be found on my website, which is inspiredbygraham.com, and this information is also on my website. My website still hasn't been updated. We're still working on it. I know she's working on it, so it does take some time. She has other clients as well. But go to the right sidebar and scroll. That's where you'll see everything that I offer. I did actually do a post for this class, so that will come up. Should be on my homepage. So please let me know if you have any questions. I'm going to scroll through just to see if there's anything else out there. And let's see what we got. Just for children, the GSPs. Okay. Beautiful cards, lots of handy tips. Nice book for folders. Yes. Hobnail glass is an old pattern on glass dishware. Raised circles all over. Oh, I wouldn't have known that. Thank you for letting us know, Denise. Okay. All right. I think that's it. Thank you so much for watching and being with me and crafting tonight. I hope you enjoyed the class. I will be back here next Monday. I'm always live on Monday. Not always, but most of the time I'm live on Mondays. And I never really know what I'm going to be making until that day, like this. I didn't have this made until today. So I kind of worked on this after some business training this morning. So I think, you know what, when I need to make something really quick, I don't think about it and I just make it and it comes out great. So I think I do need to do more of that than just overthink. So have a great week ahead. I work tomorrow, so I won't be in my craft room, boo-hoo, but I'll be back in my craft room on Wednesday. You guys, again, have a great week, and thumbs up and share this video if you wouldn't mind doing that. That does help out my YouTube channel. All right, take care and be well.